Hello AOS fans, it is I, Pete, and I'm coming to you with another deck video. As always with our deck videos, we try and follow the bar list when we're building them. We're not playing in tournaments obviously, but we like to try and be as relevant as possible. However, over time bar lists change, so if you're listening to this sometime after it actually was released and a new bar list has come in between, then this may now be an out of date deck. So hopefully it'll be useful for all of you, but you know, you have to take it with a pinch of salt if this is an old video that you have managed to dredge up from the interwebs. So who am I playing this week? I am playing Mollog. I don't know who I'm coming up against. It's another one of our mystery matches. Robin and I kind of prefer these in a lot of ways because it really does mean we build our decks with the most tournament-centric, balanced view in mind. Now this week I've gone with the Mighty Mollog, and I'm hoping that I can Mollog smash things, and I'm not going with a particularly clever deck here. It is purely smash things to pieces. So without further ado, let's crash on with the decks. Starting with the objectives, I have Chosen Champion because Mollog is going to be getting all of the upgrades. Escalation because Mollog is going to be getting all of the upgrades. Massive Assault because dealing 7 damage with Mollog shouldn't be too hard, inspired or not. If I can get a couple of attacks off with him inspired, that's 8 damage. So next one's Master of War because I did struggle to find a few cards, and I figured Master of War would actually be fairly scoreable because it uses the whole round. You've got to play a ploy, an upgrade, and get an objective, and as it includes the whole round, it does include the end phase, so if I score an objective before I get this one, then I can do that. Next one is Master Stroke. It's score immediately, but I do have a few cards in it which will hopefully give me that ability to kill somebody from a reactionary attack. I then have No Remorse because Mollog's going to be smashing stuff. Then Plata Standard. I've picked this because I'm going to be going to my opponent's territory. I might as well jump Mollog on an objective whilst I'm over there, smashing skulls. An extra glory for me, and it's an objective less for my opponent. Victorious Duel is next. Killing the leader should be almost as easy as killing everybody else theoretically, so if I can get 2 glory for doing that, and it's a score immediately, 3 glory mid-turn would be very nice. I then have Frugal. My plan is to hopefully get a lot of glory, score Frugal, then spend a lot of glory. Great Gains is next. Scoring 5 glory points might seem a tall ask, but it's anything, so you can get that from killing people, and I do have the cards in it to hopefully make Mollog quite a beast, so I'm hoping that I should be able to score that one. I then have Long Strider, another score immediately if Mollog makes 2 move actions. Well, if he can make a move and then a charge himself without any special cards required, so you know what, that one should be pretty easy to score. And lastly, Strong Start, which is make sure an opponent is the first thing to die. Well, I reckon I can do that pretty easy, so that's why that's in there. So those are my objectives, and what am I going to use to help score those objectives? Well, these are my Gambits. I've got Distraction to either hopefully push somebody a bit further away from one of my squigs, or move them towards Mollog, hopefully maybe at the same time. Healing Potion because Mollog is my main man, so I want to keep him alive as long as I can. I haven't taken Healing Potion in absolutely ages, so it's nice to see that some of the new warbands are making us pick up some of the old cards again. I've then got Inspiration Strikes because I want Mollog inspired as quickly as possible and not to have to rely on him taking wounds to do so. Misdirection because I really don't want Mollog to be the target of a ploy which is going to absolutely render him useless. I'd rather have Misdirection in there to hopefully redirect it towards one of the squigs instead. I've then got my turn in here, which is handy. Any ploy or attack that damages him, I can then push him 1 hex and make an attack with him. The more extra attacks I can get on Mollog, the better, because he is my main attack source. And then Ready for Action! Pretty much the same reason. Put an upgrade on him and get him to do another attack. Possibly a move, depending on how out of line he is or how far away from the action he is. Then got Spectral Wings because Mollog only moves 3, he ain't the fastest, so an extra +2 move will be very handy to get him where I need him to go. Commanding Stride enables me to push him up to 3 hexes, so it's not a move, just a push. As long as he ends up on a starting hex, could be very handy to sprint into my opponent's territory. Ghoulish Pact, which again, I'm really hoping I can combine with my turn possibly. Take a wound off him, and I can apply an upgrade for free, so that'd be very handy if I'm running out of glory. And Haymaker, +2 dice for an attack action, and then no defense dice for the rest of that phase. Possibly a bit of a gamble, that one, but you know what, +2 dice on Mollog's very handy because he only rolls 2, so the extra 2 dice can really help guarantee that hit that you really want. So those are my Gambits, and once I've used those to earn all that glorious glory, what are the upgrades I'm going to buy with it all? Well, these are them. First one is Cursed Artifact, +1 defense, which Mollog desperately needs, and -1 wound. Now he can afford to lose a couple of wounds, so reducing him by 1 is not a big problem. I can offset that with Great Fortitude, +1 wound. I've then got Helpful Whispers. This is a definite must for Mollog. If he has no adjacent friendly fighters, you can claim single assists as a success when they make an attack, which really makes him a lot better on all of his attacks. Soul Trap next, again because I don't want him to die and I'd like to reduce that chance wherever possible. I then got Vampiric Weapon. Again, not one I've taken much, but Mollog is going to be killing people, and whenever he takes someone out of action, it removes 1 wound from him. That could be very helpful. I then have Foul Temper, which is a bit like a Awakened Weapon light version. I can reroll 1 dice with every attack I make with him. Well, that combined with Helpful Whispers, I'm hoping will make him a much more reliable attacker for me. Then Champion's Fortitude, which allows me to reroll 1 defense dice, hopefully in conjunction with Cursed Artifact will ensure him staying alive longer. Fameway Crystal, mostly for movement, being able to jump across the board, land on an opponent's objective, and also possibly claim Planter Stand at the same time, could be very helpful. Horrifying Armour next. Anybody who's going to go up and attack Mollog, if they're stupid enough to do so, will have a -1 attack dice. And Tomb of Offerings, pretty much a must take in any Mollog deck. I'm hoping to get this out early, get it on Mollog, and get him swatting people left and right, claiming some of my objectives, but at the same time just racking me up a whole load of glory. We've seen it work before with Robin, and I'm hoping it'll work again for me. So those are my cards, those are my picks, that's what I picked up for my deck. Do let me know what you think about it. As I mentioned at the start, we do use the most up-to-date bar list, and this was created around the February bar list time, just in time for that to get in, so that's why I don't have Superior Tactician in here. But if there are any other bar list changes that have come out since then, it won't include those. I'm pretty confident with this deck. I think I can do a lot of damage with it, providing I can hit with Mollog. I should be able to rack up a lot of glory, get a lot of my objectives, and make Mollog into a one-man killing machine, which is pretty much what the Mollog Warband is all about. I'm hoping cards like Helpful Whispers and Foul Temper will really help his offensiveness, and things like Cursed Artifact, Champion's Fortitude, and Great Fortitude and Soul Trap will all help his defense, along with Horrifying Armour. Keep him alive as long as I can, whilst the Tomb of Offerings, pretty much key for my deck, makes him a glory printing machine. So let me know what you think, let me know if you like this, what you would change, are there any cards you would get rid of, any cards you would add in. I really did struggle to come up with enough objectives, I think, which is why I've ended up with a few in there like Master of War, because I just wasn't sure about some of the other cards, but maybe I'll have a swap around next time. This is for a best of 3 game against whoever I'm up against. I'm hoping that in the first round, if I don't get out my Tomb of Offerings, it will land later. All of this best of 3 will appear on YouTube. Our next best of 3 after that will be a Patreon only affair. The first game will go on YouTube, but all the remainder games will be Patreon only. So if you do want to get some extra content, do check us out there and support us. Every bit is appreciated. I shall see you all soon in the Mirrored City. Bye!